Ruslan.
The guys from Fresh and Fit have been receiving a lot of backlash, and they decided to press into the tension and go on to the Flagrant 2 podcast. If you guys don't know what that is a podcast with Andrew Schulz and a whole lineup of really funny guys and comedians, and I'm going to be reacting to this video. Now, some of you guys may be thinking, Ruslan, why are you talking about this stuff? Why are we talking about Fresh and Fit? Those guys are worldly. They're the scum of the earth, so on and so forth. Why are you reacting to these conversations? Here is why. What you don't know is these folks who run these red pill communities are the pastors and the leaders and the influencers of a lot of kids coming up from this next generation. And so if we as Christian creators do not address these topics head on, that someone else is going to and lead the next generation of kids and the kids that are on YouTube now down some really wonky conclusions, as you'll discover from today's video. All right, so let's get into the video. Before we do that, guys, my name is Ruslan. We have a free How to Study the Bible course in the description of this video, as well as a free Master My Habits course that I put together with my Christian therapist to bring you more breakthrough in freedom forming habits, and a free niche course if you're looking to get into the YouTube niche space. Okay, so before we get into reacting to this video, I need you guys to know.
Hide your wife.
Explicit.
Hide your kids, hide your wife. It's going to get explicit. I'll try to edit it out on the back end, but just know there's going to be some profanity on this. But really, the undergirding of these positions, which is what we're going to get deep into today, and the logical conclusion of what they believe about the world, is important because, again, these folks influence people. This community influences people. And you'll see, based on their conclusions, how dangerous, in my opinion, of an influence this can be. Check this out.
Well, I'm not saying I don't have a problem with the joke, but I have empathy for trying to be funny, and then it comes out fucked up, and then everybody's on your neck.
Exactly. So he opens with the joke. Hey, listen, the joke that you guys made about black women, if you were just making a joke and it didn't come out right, I get it. But he says there's a deeper issue here. And that's what they keep kind of pointing to, is the deeper issue here.
What I don't like, what I find corny as fuck, is my preference is not my women. Now, I thought it was I'm not dating my women, period, which is the corniest human being outside of a criminal to me, period. It's just, those are your roots. Those women are reflected in your roots. So if you're saying, hey, I don't generally date them, but I have more space for it, even though I still think it's a little corny between...
Akash masterfully handled this interview, and give props to, you know, Fresh and Fit, give them their respect, because they went into Lion's Den and definitely were getting grilled this entire conversation. I like that there's conversations like this happening.
You guys have established yourselves as role models, from simps to pimps, which is another motto I find kind of corny, but I looked into what you guys are about. And a lot of the shit is just childish, which is fine if you want to be funny. We just talked about how doctors ain't shit for 45 minutes. We are not in any way life coaching. We are not in any way trying to help men outside of, hey, come have a laugh for a couple hours. If you're going to paint yourself as life coaches and then say shit like, you know what I mean, I just don't really fuck with black girls like that.
I guess Fresh and Fit, they offer financial literacy, they offer health advice, and they offer relationship advice. But as we peel away on this layer and we get to the bottom of what they actually believe about the world, you will discover the beginning of it is just the really inappropriate things they said about black women and generalizing black women. But that's really just the tip of the iceberg as we unpack this entire conversation.
Because marriage, you know, even though it's a fantastic institution and we definitely believe in a nuclear family, the setup for it right now is not optimal because the divorce courts heavily, you know, favor women. There's a lot of situations where guys can absolutely get destroyed from divorce and marriage. So we just tell guys, hey, go with your eyes wide open, understand the laws, understand the stats, and know what you're getting yourself into.
I think I don't.
So they're saying, we believe in marriage. We like the concept of marriage and the nuclear family. But you got to go in with your eyes open. Instead of saying we believe in the context of marriage and the sanctity of marriage, so we're going to equip people on how to be good spouses and good humans so they can succeed in their marriage, because that's they say they believe in a nuclear family, and that's the optimal way to bring children in, build a life together. They go in and say, yeah, no, you need to have your eyes. And again, once we go down this and dig deeper here, you'll discover how dark the worldview actually gets.
The guys enjoy it. We help a lot of guys out. We've saved a bunch of guys from, hurting themselves.
There's two ways to build something. You could build content by what you're for and what you represent and helping people, or you can build content by, on what you're against, right? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. And so we align with people that we have an enemy with. And instead of having allies and having partners and having brothers, we just have a bunch of comrades because we're all against the same thing. We're all against materialistic bimbos who just want men that are out of their league and they just want to finesse men. So that's what we're going to, right? And it makes for funny content, and it's going to, quote unquote, help someone. But what is it going to do in terms of shaping someone's worldview for the optimal way to have a relationship, marriage, family, so on and so forth?
The guys and girls every night, every single day. We're actually in the dating field every day, dating apps, sugar sites. We're in there in the field, learning real time. So when we give advice regarding this topic, bro, it's like we're in the field with girls right now.
In Miami.
In Miami.
In Miami. That's the key. It's the key point here, right? In Miami.
What she's doing,
that's unfair.
Meets a guy that doesn't know what he's doing, she's gonna take advantage. It's just human nature.
Well, why? I don't think she'll take advantage, to be honest with you. I think she just won't be interested. And I think that if we look at
That's
women,
the problem, though.
Yeah, but if we look at women like predators, that's a bad perception for a guy who's trying to find a woman that he wants to marry. Like for me, I'm trying to find a girl I want to marry, right? So I can't go into a relationship with someone that I'm about to trust with my life and my kid's life as, oh, this girl's a predator. She's trying to get over me. She's trying to figure it out, right? I have to go in open, and then I actually have to go in going, oh my shit, do I really like this girl? Is this person I want to spend the rest of my life with? I know that she would want to spend the rest of her life with me because I'm a great guy.
It's good, right? Don't go in talking to people of the opposite sex, viewing them as predators. So as we're peeling away, yeah, we like the idea of nuclear family, but we think marriage is a flawed institution because of the laws. Okay, yeah, we like women, but we view them as predators, and we're not, we're not going to be the prey. And again, as we keep peeling away at their views and the crux, which we're going to get there, of what they actually believe about the world, you discover it's really, really dark.
Well, we tell guys to go in with
Open
defense.
mind.
And here's the thing too, guys.
Yeah.
But why are they so defensive? Why are they scared? It's like,
You gotta be aware.
So we're in
You gotta be aware. These dudes are so paranoid.
it's not the forest, bro.
We're in a
You're
very
the lion, but you teaching them like they the fucking gazelle.
Yeah.
Like we the lions out here, bro.
So here's the thing. So we're in a very unique position because we talk to thousands of guys.
Yeah.
And we also talk, at this point, we've interviewed well over 1,000 girls on our podcast.
Yeah.
Remember, I told you, these guys position themselves as influencers, as leaders, as coaches, self-help content. That's how they brand themselves. Now, here's something to think about. You got Akash, who's been married, one woman married, for a number of years. He's been one. Andrew Schulz reveals in this interview he just got married 3 weeks ago. Okay, so you have guys here that they're comedians, but I think what we're seeing is we have a void of people who understand the sanctity of marriage, understand the benefits of a nuclear family. But what happens is, in our postmodern context, they're afraid to preach what they practice. So we have folks that are practicing what they preach, supposedly, right? Who knows? Yet, guys that are actually married in functioning marriages, healthy families, figuring it out, thriving in their careers, comedians, whatever, they're afraid to preach what they practice. We ultimately have the answer, and we ultimately know how God designed these things, so we need to preach what we practice. And I wish they would do more of that. I wish we would see Andrew Schulz preach more of some of the things he practices privately, because I think it may serve as a benefit to his audience instead of just like, we're just funny, comedian guys. It's like, you could act like there's all these kind of different ways to live your life and be happy and be successful. But come on, fam. After a certain point, you go into the club when you're 35, single, goofiness, right? At some point, it's just not lit anymore. And I think how we got here with the dating market and how we got here with even the critique of the modern woman and all of these different things is because we have a bunch of a generation that either completely failed in marriage or they have successful marriages, but they're afraid to prescribe the very things that they know actually work in creating healthy, stable families.
I think it's all sugar and spice, but like they want to get lit, have fun, enjoy their 20s, but without any type of like responsibility. And then when they want to find a man, it's like, wait, I've been hoeing around doing this dumb shit, but I can't find a man. Why is that?
Most women that I know want to be married by 27. Like, and again, I'm a little older than you guys, right?
And Miami might be a little different.
And exactly, culturally it might be different. Miami's a wild town, right? And I mean, we lived there for 4 months, and I even found myself going like, I want a boat.
And this is the part that's most frustrating about Fresh and Fit is they don't understand their own selection bias. I've been to almost every major city there is in the United States. Miami and people from Miami, and this is no disrespect to anybody from South Florida, some other things going on there. It is unlike any place I've ever visited. The culture is unlike any place I've ever visited.
Exactly, but like you get caught up in it. It's just part of what it is, right? You get caught up in the value system.
Zach said Miami's the Las Vegas of the East Coast. Yo, Miami's the Las Vegas of the East Coast with like all the gross parts about LA combined.
Okay? So I get that, and you guys might be around, like the girls that you're talking to might also be there going, okay, the guy with the fucking the boat and the AP, and he's got the bottles and all that kind of shit. So their mind is a little bit warped as well. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't say that's every girl.
No, honestly, and that's why we tell guys, you know, we have a Money Monday, a Womanizer Wednesday, Fitness Friday.
Womanizer Wednesday?
The reason why we do that is because we tell guys you got to become the best version of yourself, and then the byproduct of that is the girls will like you.
And Womanizer Wednesday is a part of that growth, huh?
Yes, it is.
And Womanizer Wednesday is a part of that growth. Come on.
Genuinely like nice dudes that got fucked over by like bad women, like in your life maybe, that like came in and like finessed you and like fucked you guys over. And my fear would be that your audience of people that really trust you and look up to you would then learn, you're teaching them how to go down a path to be defensive and scared of women. And then they could potentially finesse and fuck over other women that were innocent, had nothing to do with it. And then they become the women that you're talking about.
What a great assessment he made. Now watch the response.
If that's the case.
Well,
We're not scared. We haven't been hurt. It's more like we understand the dangers of dating women, and we want guys to know, look, just look for these things so you don't get finessed.
We understand the dangers of dating women. Look for these things so you don't get finessed.
That's the biggest thing, because if you don't know going into it, you're going to be like, yeah, she loves me for me. Probably not. So it's like, okay, no, understand who you are, what you want.
Why wouldn't she love you for you? You're great, bro.
Andrew.
Hey, bro.
Stop the cap, bro. Stop the cap.
Hey.
There's a lot here, man. Now we're getting to the center of the crux of the issue. She don't love me for me. Why won't she love you for you? You're great. Andrew, stop the cap. This is all coming out of a hurt, insecure little boy complex.
Bro, what happened?
Here's the thing. In this world, it's either pimp or be pimped. Yeah.
And there it is. There it is. There's everything you need to know about Fresh and Fit. This world, it's either pimp or be pimped. That's it. That's all you need to know. The entire paradigm of the way these brothers view the world is you either conquer or you get conquered. You're either prey or you become the prey. You either pimp or you get pimped. That's it. So though it's, we're helping men get in shape and be funny and work on their mental health and their financial, that's the crux. All the other stuff is peripheral when the core of how you view the world is you're pimp or get pimped. That says everything. Does it not? So then if I viewed the world the way they did, I have to be a predator or someone's going to destroy me. Well, then I may come to some of the same conclusions.
Yeah.
So if we can arm guys with the tools.
What is that, dog? That's what I'm saying. Your views are very black and white. You're too old to be thinking like this.
Word.
Hey, man. Well, we can have different worldviews, but if we look at it,
we can have different worldviews. You notice he acknowledged that this is a worldview he has.
it's pimp or be pimp, baby. So I'd rather equip the guys with the tools so they can go out there and navigate the day.
And do the pimping?
marketplace
don't
in a
wanna
way
pimp.
where
Yeah,
they
you
won't
don't
get
think that's
finessed.
a dangerous mindset for the world to have?
Did I pimp my wife?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. Or
Hey,
is she
man.
pimping you? Same with all of us. But like, not for real. Like, what if we're also telling you that that's not the experience? And that maybe there's experiences you've had and being in a fucked up dating scene like Miami, right? And we know it could get wild, especially if you're going to like these types of parties. You got a lot of girls that are like literally paid to be there. And they might be paid to do other stuff as well. So
This is why we talk about this stuff. Because people be like, no, Ruslan, you don't understand. Red pill community is so helpful to me, man. It's men's improvement, man. I gotta get out my mom's basement and go hit the gym and meet some girls, man. Fam, if the crux of this conversation is coming down to a worldview that you're being programmed to see the world in pimped or be pimped, it is dark and that you're going to come apart. I promise you. You know how I view the world in every transaction, in every single thing that I do, in every way that I approach every relationship, every business venture, every YouTube video. You know what I do? And this is what you should do. You should always be looking for the win-win. How do both people win in this transaction, from this video, from this hoodie, from this course, from this whatever? In my marriage, how do we both win? What is my wife ultimately after? What am I ultimately after? It's not a pimp or be pimped. My wife's not pimping me. I'm not pimping my wife. We have a mutual love and respect for each other, and we are after helping the other person win. That is the difference between what they're propagating, which is the same nonsense I heard from boys when I was like 15, 16 years old, the guys that knew everything about women. It's the same toxic stuff. It just hasn't evolved much. It just sounds more sophisticated because Kevin Samuels says some stuff that's overlapping, but it's the same nonsense that we've been hearing from guys in the neighborhood that thought they knew something about women. But when you grow up, you discover that the way you actually thrive is not by taking advantage of people, it's by doing right by people. Everybody. The waitress that brings you your food, do right by her. Go above and beyond. Bless her. Be generous. The tip is 15%. You leave 30%. The person that's checking you out, you be generous. You be kind. You do right by everybody. That's how you win in this world. That is the worldview that is driven from an intimacy with Jesus. Understanding that my life is not my own. That I am a representative and an ambassador for Christ. That how I treat the least of these, that if I put others before myself, it's an upside down kingdom, and they're missing it. They're completely blind to it. So you're going through the world with your dukes up, thinking everybody's trying to finesse you and beat you up. And people are like, you stupid. What are you doing? That's not how you win. That's not how you succeed. You succeed by helping and serving people. You succeed by looking for the win-win. I know I'm preaching and some of you guys are checking out, but guys, don't buy into this thinking. Don't buy into this in order for you to win, someone else has to lose. That's not how a marriage works. That's not how you winning with money works. That's not how you getting in shape works. That's not how you growing in your career works. Nobody got to lose for you to become wealthy. Nobody got to lose for you to have a fire marriage. That's a zero-sum way of approaching life. It's a net positive, fam. We win, I win, everybody can win. So this is the part where I'm telling y'all like, Ruslan, why you keep talking about this? Because there's going to be young men that click on this video that are gonna come and try to call me a simp and say I'm a beta and leave some little snarky comment, and they'll God willing watch long enough to see how toxic this worldview is and to see that there's an alternative in following Jesus that revolutionizes everything. And Jesus said, if you want to be first, you need to be last. That when the disciples were arguing amongst themselves about who was going to be the greatest in the kingdom, Jesus never rebuked them and said, how dare you desire to be great? Jesus said, you want to be great? Go serve. Be a servant of all if you want to be great in the kingdom. It's an upside down kingdom. There's nothing wrong with desiring to be successful, desiring to be great, desiring to be effective, desiring to help people. There's nothing wrong with that. Desiring to have a great marriage. But it's called servant leadership. You lead by service. Guys, if you're listening to these dudes and you know you trolling, you think it's fun, whatever, man. Listen, you do you, but I promise you, this is not a helpful, healthy, pragmatic, practical, beneficial way to view life. And that's the underlying agenda of everything they're trying to sell you. Pimp or be pimped. There's those of us that decided to unhinge ourselves from participating in sex work a long time ago because Jesus freed us. And we are neither pimps nor are we being pimped. And there's freedom in Christ. So it's way darker than we think it is on the surface. And I'm glad that Flagrant went and really exposed like the conclusions that they're operating under. The conclusions that they're operating under are very, very dark. It's very, very, very dark. It's very dark. Dare I say demonic. To view the world as pimped or be pimped, so therefore you need to have the upper hand advantage at all times. That's demonic, fam. That's dark. Don't be pimped. Don't be a pimp. Don't even operate with this paradigm of thinking. Only surround yourself and work with and cooperate with people that are looking for the win-win.
Kingstream Entertainment. Ruslan.
Yo, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. Be sure to check out the links in the description for some free resources, including a How to Study the Bible course, a Find Your Niche course if you're looking to get into the creator space, and a Master My Habits course that I put together with my Christian therapist, Dr. Rudy. And check out some of these other videos recommended from me and YouTube to you. Make sure you subscribe with the bell notification on, and I will see you next time, all right? Peace.